Good morning, my loves. Happy Tuesday. Yes, it's another bright, beautiful day at the lake. As always, at least we're consistent. We are talking about feeling safe. I don't care who you are. I don't care how old you are, what job you have. Honey, we all need a safe space. We need that person that we can go to and cry and talk. You feel safe. You feel protected. There's no judgment. It's just like the biggest hug ever. Don't care if you're male, if you're female. Don't care if you're law enforcement, military, a veteran, a politician, a celebrity, a housewife. It doesn't make any difference. We all need that. Especially children. They have to have that. They need a safe space as much as they need air. So who do you go to? Is it your bestie? Is it your spouse, your significant other? Think about it for a minute. Who do you go to? You get devastating news. Who do you go to? Who do you turn to? You've had a horrible day. Just one of those days, do you go home? Is that your safe space? You just go home. Go home, you snuggle your pets, give your partner a big hug, give your kids a big hug, and it just lifts all that worry off of you because you feel loved. You're home. You're safe. It's your safe space. Is that your life? What about your kids? For your kiddos, they have bad days. They bomb a test. Maybe they cut school and got caught. Maybe they had a fight with their best friend if they're a little older. Maybe whoever they like, they saw them talking to somebody else. Or maybe if they're 15, 16, it's their first breakup. What happens? Where's their safe space? I would hope it's you. You should be your child's safe space. Anything happens, they should want to come to you. They may not want to talk immediately, but they need to come to you just for that hug and to know it's okay. They should want to be home where they're safe, where they're protected, where everything's okay. Is that how it is? Is that, are you their safe space? For a lot of people of all ages, home is not a safe space. Home is a war zone. Home is where there is chaos, fighting and screaming and drugs, abuse, neglect, abandonment, and they can't wait to get the hell out of there. That is not their safe space. They want to be anywhere but there. That's awful. And I hear this every day. For myself, growing up, my home, if anybody has ever watched, like Leave It to Beaver, where mom was home cooking and dad went to work and the house was perfect and clean and never fought. That was my upbringing. For the most part, that was the upbringing of my friends and their families. Violence was never an issue. There wasn't screaming and yelling and fighting and parents storming out and parents getting drunk. No one got hit. When my son was growing up, single mom here, I never had to raise my hand to him. He was not a perfect child, but I never had to raise my hand to him. I would never even think of doing that to him. And home was his safe space. And if I wasn't around, because I was a surgical intensive care nurse, if I was at work, Grandma and Grandpa were his safe space. He always had a safe space. And for my granddaughter, it's the same thing. She adores her parents. The three of them, my son, daughter-in-law, and my granddaughter are glued at the hip. They adore each other, and I love that. That shows I did something right on my end. But not every child is that lucky. Think about it, please. Is your home a safe space for your child, or is it a war zone? You deserve to be happy and feel safe and feel at peace, and so does your child. One reason I'm wearing blue today is National Child Trafficking Awareness Day. And a lot of times, kids get upset and they leave. They storm out. And I see this a lot, and I gave it a lot of thought this morning. Growing up, I never knew anyone that ran away from home. With all of my friends, and I'm still friends with people I went to high school with in junior high, and a couple from elementary school, nobody ever ran away from home. With my son's friends, I knew all of his friends. Nobody ever ran away from home. I mean, if you got upset, you would deal with it with your parents. I mean, once in a while, because I was a nurse, there were some issues that came up, and the kids would come to me, crying, what do we do? Who do we talk to? And I would talk to them and say, you talk to your mom and your dad. If you want me to be there, I will, but you need to go talk to mom and dad. That has to be the safe space. And it just breaks my heart when I talk to families and they don't have a safe space for their child, because home is a combat zone. You have a child, whatever age, that's scared to go to bed at night because a family member or whoever's sleeping over is sneaking in their room and molesting them, touching them. And they may or may not have said something to the adults. They don't believe them. Oh, you're making that up. They wouldn't do that. They're doing it. Never doubt your child. Why the hell would you not believe your child? Why would you put your faith in the predator, in the abuser, and not your child? That just blows my mind. And that's happening to your child. It probably happened to you. How did you feel when it happened to you? And you said something to somebody and they said you were making it up. They didn't believe you. It crushed you. Don't do it to your child. If I am talking to an abuser, when the first time you were molested, the first time it happened to you, how did you feel? Remember the fear, the panic, the terror, the pain, the threats? Why the hell would you do that to somebody else? Why would you inflict that pain on someone else? Stop. You have no right. Get the help you need. Do not revisit your horror, your traumas on someone else. I talk to parents, and in some cultures, in some communities, kids as young as 8 will get mad at their parents and run off. And they'll be gone for 2 or 3 days. Parents don't know where they are. And I will hear from the parents, oh, you know how kids are. Not in my world. No, that wasn't acceptable. Teach your children from a young age. From when they're toddlers, we never run out the door mad. We stay here and we talk it out. We hug it out. Nothing is ever so awful that you can't come to me. Be their safe space. I can't imagine a child 8, 12, 15 running away from home because they don't feel safe. Because they feel safer with strangers than they do family. I also see a lot of, because I work with a lot of agencies that deal with child trafficking, and you have kids that go online and they meet a friend that really isn't their age, but they don't know. Kids are naive. You can talk to them all day long, but kids are going to be kids. Please monitor your child's phone and their games. Know who they're talking with, know who they're chatting with, know who they're meeting. Because just because somebody posts a picture saying this is who they are does not mean that's who they are. And they will say, well, I'll meet you at the convenience store, at Quick Trip or Circle K, whatever you have. And the child will go. And that person isn't there. But, oh, I'm their friend. I'm supposed to take you to them. They may go, they may not. They may go willingly, they may not. They may grab a soda there and sit and talk. And this person's telling them everything they need to hear. Oh, I know how you feel. I went through the same space. I can protect you. Kids cutting class. They go to a convenience store, they go grab, a burger, and somebody's there just waiting. Hey, you can come to my place and play Xbox, or I don't know, whatever things kids do. And they may do it. These kids may not be heard from again. People assume they ran away from home. They may not have been. They may have been trafficked, because adults will take kids right off the street and sell them into the sex trade. And they, as quickly as they can, they will get them out of your community. They will get them out of your state. And very often, they will get them out of the country. I'm in Arizona. You can imagine where the kids go. And that's how people make their money. Selling children into the sex trade. For child pornography, for child sexual assault material. That's, if you see that, CSAM, child pornography. You may or may not see your child again. If your child gets sick, if your child gets pregnant, they may not be of use anymore. They may just kill them. It happens. I'm not trying to scare people. I'm trying to make you aware. It's happening every day. And I know agencies, I know people that go after these kids and bring them back. But just make sure your house is a safe space so that these things aren't as prone to happen. Okay? Keep your kids home. Keep them safe. Let them know they're loved and appreciated all the time. And I posted yesterday on social media, people don't realize, they don't want to realize the things happening in their community, the ugly, horrible, illegal, despicable things happening. They think, oh, it's not happening here. Honey, it is, I promise you. In your community, there is child trafficking. There's human trafficking. People being brought in from outside other states for prostitution. You think there's a house down the street, on the block, on the other side of town that, well, that's the drug house. I'm pretty sure there's more than drugs going on in there. And the people, the women, the kids, boys and girls, they don't have a choice. They may be being drugged and beaten and used as prostitutes. So don't just assume, oh, that's the drug house. You don't know what's going on in there. But it's going on in your community, I promise you that. Do not turn a blind eye to this. Don't just roll your eyes and say, well, people, you know how they are. No, honey, you don't know how they are. They're not there by choice most times. It's not that they want to do this. They don't. They don't. They're kids. They can't get away. If you see something, say something. If you suspect something, say something. Lives are at stake. You don't realize that. A lot of people don't care. They just don't give a damn. Well, that's their life. It's those kind of people. You know how they are. Really? Because that's somebody's daughter. That's somebody's son. They could be missing, and the families could be searching for them. They have no idea where they are. That's their baby. If you see something, say something. If you suspect something, say something. Please be a safe space for your child. Make your home a safe space for your child. If your home is in a toxic environment, I was going to say abusive, but toxic is a little nicer phrase. In your house, if they're screaming and yelling and fighting and arguing, physical abuse, sexual abuse, any type of violence, stop. You deserve better. Your children deserve better. Be a safe space. You deserve a safe space, sweetheart. We all do. You deserve to come home and feel safe. When you close that door, the worries stay on the other side of that door. You're home. You're safe. You can breathe. Let your kids experience that too. Honey, you're worthy.